Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about what is new in this update because there is a metric butt ton of stuff to talk about. But before we jump into the video, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to go over is of course the new keyword, and today's keyword is new_bounce_tech. Alright, once you type that in, you're going to press escape, go to systems, get campaign items, receive item account, and right here David plays NGS, you're going to get 50 star gems as well as 3 N rare drop rate plus 25%, so make sure to pick that up. Now on top of that, we also have the Super Genesis campaign going on right now, so you do get your 15 days of material storage, your 15 N color change passes, as well as your 2000 Genesis points. Make sure to pick that up, as well as a Super Genesis gift which gives you a build part of the Super Genesis Festival poster, so you can also pick that up. Now do keep in mind your 15 days material storage does not auto consume the moment you redeem it. It sits in your inventory, so if you don't want to use it yet, you can hold it and just put it in your storage for however long you want. There is no expiry date for these tickets. However, in my case, I just like to use it, so I'm just going to use it immediately. Alright, with the keyword out of the way, the next thing we need to talk about are of course the free gear that you get from simply logging in and getting to level 65, and that is of course the Argenti weapon series. So the Argenti weapon series are absolutely insane. They give you 1000 attack stat, they're already fully enhanced to plus 80, they're fully limit broken, they've got fixed attack 5 on it, and they've also got the weapon potential level 6, and it's fully augmented. This basically gives every new player all the gear you need to do all the content in the game except for purple triggers. If you are planning to do the new purple triggers, you are going to need better gear than this. However, if you want to do any other content available in the game, this is pretty much good enough. The only thing I would strongly suggest people to look into would be the Mastery LC capsule. I would probably replace this with any other LC capsule or just any regular capsule just to get a little bit more potency. And do keep in mind we do have new LC capsules, so you have more choices, but pretty much the Mastery LC is the only one that I would replace. Everything else you're good to go. It's pretty much best in slot for the average player. Now of course there are better variants, the non-LC capsules, however those capsules are significantly more expensive. Now on top of the Argenti weapons, we also have the Eftistant armors over here, which are also really nice because they're already enhanced to plus 80, they give you damage resistance, and they also have a bunch of LC capsules. Again, the only one I would replace would be the Mastery LC, but look at the armors. They give 80 HP, 17 photon power, and 24.1% all potency. This is an absolute beast of an armor. It's really, really good. So even if you are a brand new player jumping into the game or a returning player, you get all of this gear for free just by hitting level 65. Now something to keep in mind is this is character bound. The reason why they can afford to make it character bound is because these armors and these weapons are not tradable in the personal shop, alright? So you can't sell them on the personal shop, but because they're not tradable, the game can literally just keep giving you these armors for free, which is why it is per character. So let's say that you want another set of this armor. Just make another character, log into the game, get it to level 65, and you will get another set of armor and another set of weapons. Now if you want a set of Argenti weapons for every single class, you can simply come to the limited time quest over here, and all you need to do is hit level 65 of that specific class, and you can literally get every single weapon over here. As you can see right here, you know, for Force, Ranger, Hunter, Fighter, Gunner, blah 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 blah. They're all available, and the crazy thing is this is one time per character, so based on how many characters you have, you can get as many weapons as you want. But as I said earlier, the reason why they're doing this is because these weapons and armors are not tradable and not sellable on the personal shop, which is why they're so generous in giving out these weapons and armors. Now something you could think about is getting a bunch of these armors in order to mash them together in order to try to get a fixa onto your armors. That could be something you might want to look into, simply because, well, you can get unlimited of these armors as long as you have character slots. So that is something you could look into. I haven't tried it, but you know, I don't see any reason on why they would stop you from putting a fix on it. As for the weapons, there's no reason because, well, they already gave you fixa 5, so yeah, there's nothing to do there. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the enhancement level has increased to plus 80 now. So a lot of people have been asking me, how much attack do you get on a Flugelguard weapon when it's plus 80? And it's 1094. versus the Argenti weapons, which is 1000, which personally I think this is fair. You know, you have the extra fix of 5 that actually gives you the 5% potency. The weapon potential over here gives you 30% potency, as well as recover 4% HP every 10 seconds. It's really good. They are very strong weapons, and considering that they are free, that everyone gets them for just hitting level 65, it's really crazy. And considering you can actually equip this at level 65 as well, is also really nice. So yeah, most people, if you're the average player that doesn't play a lot of PSO2 every single day, just stick with the Argenti weapons, stick with these armors, and you're good to go. You don't need to do anything. You can wait until the seasonal event comes out. Hell, you probably don't even need the seasonal weapon. You could probably just settle with this weapon as well, and you're probably gonna be fine. But if you are looking for an upgrade above the Argenti weapons, you're probably looking at a Melik weapon with like a fix of 4 or above, or you're just gonna jump straight to a Flugelguard. But I don't even know if a vanilla Flugelguard is that much better than an Argenti with fix attack 5. I'm sure Cake will update their DPS calculator in the next couple of days, and we'll be able to see the DPS difference. The next thing I want to talk about is if you've completed chapter 5 when you logged into the game, you automatically get the 2.5 million Meseta. If you haven't completed chapter 5 of the story yet, I highly urge you to just complete all of the story, simply because you get a bunch of goodies for doing so. It's a ton of EXP as well if you're leveling up, and once you get to 65, you get all that crazy gear. So for all of my friends that were in the same boat as myself, where you've completed everything, it just automatically gave you the 2.5 million the moment you logged into the game. So don't worry, you did get the Meseta. Now the next thing I want to address is, yes, I did get another Flugelguard weapon to drop, these Flugelguard daggers. They literally dropped right before this recording. There was an urgent quest, and it just so happens that there is a crazy campaign going on right now for the urgent quest where you can do the urgent quest twice. So make sure the moment that you complete the urgent quest the first time that you queue up immediately so you can run it a second time. Another thing that a lot of people may have realized is you are probably destroying Darkfall Solus right now, like you are absolutely mopping the floor with him. And the reason is because they did get a 30% decrease in HP. So yeah, we're basically skipping the entirety of the second phase. Like the moment we get to the second phase, it just jumps straight to the last phase. And so we're clearing in like 5 minutes, which is actually really crazy fast. But because all of the bosses in the urgent quest did get a reduction of 30% HP, so you know, they're relatively easy to just blast through now. And on top of that, we also have like an increase in all this damage because we can enhance our weapons all the way to plus 80, which is also a very big deal. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the tech art customization. This is now available, as we can see when we click on activate tech art customization. For the Braver, there is Lotus Lightning as well as Dimensional Ray. Something I want to remind everyone is, even though there's type 1, type 2, and type 3, you can only have one active at any given time. However, you can gear these separately. So let's say that I get this to level 10, for example, and I suddenly want to switch to type 3. When I start leveling type 3, I do not lose the progress on type 2. This will stay at level 10, and then I'll slowly be able to level up type 3. And eventually, if you want, you can get type 1 at level 10, type 2 level 10, and type 3 at level 10, and switch whenever you want. So in my case, I'm currently using type 2 as the Braver, simply because even though you do get the potency hit over here and the PP cost increase, a lot of people are like, Kero, this doesn't make any sense. You do get the increased attack speed. You actually attack a lot faster. But on top of that, the number of the final hit bonus plus 300%. This is the big thing right here. So this is why I picked type 2 over type 1 and type 3. Type 1 is pretty useless, increased attack range. I think this one's pretty garbage, like you can just pretty much skip this. This one is pretty good as well, you know, increases your potency. When you click on it, you can see right here, if I get it to level 1, it increases my first stage potency by 10%, second stage potency by 5%, but there is a PP cost increase of 20%. But if we get it all the way to level 10, you can see that the PP increase goes down to 5% and the damage is still the same. Now do keep in mind that the TA customization is available for all the classes. So for example, if you go to the Force over here, a lot of people are confused on why it only said conversion shot over here for Talus, and this is because these are photon arts. For the Force, mainly you guys use techniques, so you do need to go to the technique tab over here, and you can adjust the fire, the wind, as well as the light attacks right here. And yeah, there's a bunch of options right here. The next question a lot of people have been asking me is, Kara, where do I get the TA Disc A, TA Disc B, as well as the TA Disc X? Well, in order to get Disc A as well as B, you can simply run Leciel Exploration, or you can go to the exchange shop, the Growthman exchange shop specifically, in order to exchange for these CDs. So as we can see over here through the item trader, when we go to the Growthman exchange, here are the regular TA Discs A. As you can see, they cost 1 Growthman for one of them. And then there is the TA Disc B, which costs 10 Growthman for one of these. And this is where you can pick them up. Now do keep in mind, they've also added a bunch of LC capsules over here. They did not add the new ones though. So if you want the Grand Dread Keeper, for example, you are gonna still need to farm for that. But nevertheless, this is really nice that you can actually just straight up buy these capsules over here. But do keep in mind, there is a limit. So there is a limit of 10 of these capsules every single week. So yeah, you just have to keep that in mind. As for the Disc Bs over here, you are limited to 5 per week, and the Disc A, you are limited to 50 per week. All right, so just keep in mind that there are purchase limits over here, but this is where you can get a bunch of CDs with your Growthman, so that is really nice. However, that is not the only place you can get those CDs. You can also go to the Giga Strugman exchange over here, and over here you can get a bunch of A's as well as B's, and again the limit is also 50 for the A's as well as 5 for the B's. But now for the big question, and that is, where do you get the X CDs? And that is actually in the Dread Scale exchange over here, and as you can see right here, TA Customization Disc X, and you can see you could only purchase 1 per week, and it does cost 50 Dread Scales. So I highly recommend people to go out of their way to farm all those Dread enemies or those veterans in order to get at least 50 Dread Scales to buy this one this week, because you are time gated over here. You can only purchase 1 per week, so you definitely want to start buying them now, so that when you start leveling up your skills, you won't run out of these Disc X, because well, you're time gated. So you definitely want to take advantage of it and buy this now. I'm actually going to buy it right now as well, and yeah, yeet. As you can see, I have 119 scales, so I'm just going to buy that one CD now, and as you can see, I can't purchase any more. So just make sure that you buy it now or soon, okay? The next thing I want to talk about is Leciel Exploration. When we come over here, you can now see that they do have a chance of dropping Flugelguard weapons, which is incredibly nice. They also have the Octo Armors, as well as a bunch of different weapon camos, Growthman, as well as the TA Customization Discs B, as well as A's. I believe you are guaranteed 3 A discs every single run, and as for the Growthman, they have increased it so that you actually get 15 Growthman every single run, unless of course you fail it. I do believe you get like 10 to 15, somewhere in between this range, depending on what rank you get, as well as how much damage you deal. But as long as you complete the run, you are guaranteed 15 Growthman every single run. Now, on top of that, they have also buffed the daily rewards for clear Leciel Exploration. It now gives you 30 Growthman. So if you do clear it, you do get 45 Growthman every single day, as long as you just do it the very first time. So I do highly recommend people to just run Leciel Exploration every single day, at least once, because 45 Growthman is actually quite a big deal, and it'll allow you to buy a lot of CDs. You basically just need to do it once and you can buy out all the B CDs pretty much. Because if we come over here to the Growthman exchange and go to the B variants, you can see that they cost 10 Growthman each, and you are limited to 5 per week. So basically after one day, you have 45 of them already, so you can buy 4 of any of these CDs that you want very easily. So yeah, just make sure that you take advantage of that. The next thing I want to talk about is converting your Golden Primm swords and Golden Primm armors into the capsules. So you can simply go to the shop over here, go to item recycle, and scroll all the way to the very bottom, and right here you'll see Endamio. You simply click on this, and then you can select whether you want to change your Golden Primm swords 2 or your Golden Primm armors 2 into these capsules. So in my case, let's switch all our Golden Primm swords first. You can simply click, drag, and boom, confirm. Boom, there we go. All of my Golden Primm swords 2 are now these capsules, which I can now put into my material storage. Let's go to my armors, because this one's a little bit more crazy. As you can see right here, boom, this is 218 Golden Primm armors 2. I confirm, turn that all into the capsules, and voila, I now have 226 of these Endamios. I can simply put them into material storage and I'm good to go. And look at that, I now have I pretty much cleared my entire character storage over there. I have a ton of space now, which is really nice. Now, if you want to switch those capsules back into Golden Primm swords or Golden Primm armors, you simply come to the upgrade guy over here. You go to Exchange Enhancement Materials, Other Enhancement Materials, and then right here under Golden Primm Swords 2 or Golden Primm Armors 2, depending on what you want, you click on this, and then you're going to get two options over here. You're going to click the bottom one over here where you switch your Endamio, because as you can see, there are no limits for the Endamios. However, if you click the top option where you exchange grinders, for the Golden Primm Swords 2, there is a limit of 50 per week, all right? So you're simply going to click on the bottom option right here, and you can see I have 320 Endamios. I can simply select how many I want, and they will exchange all of these Endamios into Golden Primm Swords. It does say over here, can purchase up to 50 per account, blah, blah, blah. But look, I'm going to exchange one over here, and that's not going to actually increase. When I come here again, I want to exchange it one more time. You can still see the limit is still 50. It did not go down to 49. So yeah, you can exchange this as many times as you want. So as you can see right here, I did exchange one of those into the Golden Primm Swords 2. But sometimes you're outside farming in a PSE combat zone and you just don't want to leave the zone. You can simply just go here to the shop, go to item recycle, scroll all the way to the very bottom and switch it back into an Endamio, and voila. And there we go, we just saved a bunch of space. The next thing I want to go over is this special select ticket. A lot of people have been asking me what the heck this ticket is for. It's actually a selector ticket for the actual special scratch. So when we come over here to the very bottom, there is the special scratch. You can see on the bottom right corner, there is exchange tickets for prizes, and you can exchange it for whatever you want. So if you did want the rugged weapons, for example, there is the rugged Almaty. There are a bunch of different weapon camos over here. So if you do want any of these weapon camos, you can pick it up. But in my case, I don't care about any of these. I actually just want star gems, so I could come all the way down here and pick up my 100 star gems, and voila. There we go. And last but not least, if you need arms refiners as well as arms refiners too, because remember, in order to enhance your armors as well as your weapons to plus 80, you do need to limit break it, where it does cost quite a significant amount of arms refiners as well as arms refiners too. So if you do need a bunch of arms refiners, simply go to Nuisance Plant and they literally shower you with them. I think I basically got an arms refiners every single elite I killed. I got an arms refiners too. So it's super easy. Just farm in Nuisance Plant for like an hour or two and you will have enough to fully max out your armors as well as your weapons. So you know, it's very painless and very simple, since all of the mobs in Nuisance Plant are relatively low level. And on top of that, you can also take full advantage of the EXP earn plus 300%. This is actually activated in all the combat zones and it's a permanent feature, so you can just take full advantage of it. As we can see over here, even in Retem Al Noth rank 4, you also get the 300% EXP earned. So leveling up a class is super easy right now. And last but not least, of course, the Bouncer class did get some major changes. I think the overall reception to the Bouncer changes have been relatively positive, and a lot of people are saying that it basically got the Slayer treatment, where it is more fun now and the class doesn't feel as clunky and feels a lot smoother. But personally, I am not a Bouncer player, so you guys will have to wait for Chrono's video on it. I believe Chrono, Renova, as well as Spook are all working on videos on the Bouncer. So when they do come out, I'll let you guys know, or you can just subscribe to their channels and just watch it when it comes out. But yeah, personally, I don't know much because I don't really play Bouncer at all. So that's why I just kind of mention it at the very end instead of making a big deal out of it, because I don't know if the changes are good or not.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.